Hey, welcome back to a Tower Fantasy video, and today we're going to talk about charged weapons, what they do, what are the different types of charged weapons, and how you can take advantage of this. So while we're talking about this, we're going to cover some statuses like the freeze statuses, the Grievous status, and stuff like electrifying your targets, stuff like that, and that all comes with charged weapons. So you're going to open up your weapons menu, and this little blurb right here on the right side, this first part here says type, flame. This is going to be your charged weapon effect. And so for the fire weapon, you're going to have a DOT effect, damage over time, and your targets are going to receive 50% less efficient healing. One thing to mention is that this is an SSR weapon, so the damage effect is going to be more than your SR weapon or your rare weapon. That's basically it. The charged weapon effects are still universal, except that the higher rarity will deal more damage. So 58%, as you can see here. Let me swap to a freeze weapon just to simplify things. 111% attack on my SR freeze weapon, but if I go into my SSR freeze one, it's going to be 151% attack. So just the attack portion is going to be increased, but all of the other things are going to be the same. So let's just go back to the flame one. It's going to be DOT damage and less healing, 50% efficiency healing. And then for a physical weapon, we're going to have this Grievous effect, and basically you're going to the target is going to be taking 20% extra more damage for 7 seconds. So this is really big for physical weapons. If I go into the SSR version, for example, the effect is also the same, but the initial attack is just going to be dealing more damage. Right, and so we're going to go to our freeze weapons, the ice weapons, and it's going to be Ice Shell, and you're going to be freezing enemies for 2 seconds, which is really nice. And if you break that Ice Shell, it's going to deal extra damage, 111% for SR, and then SSR, I believe it's 151. And then while frostbitten, the target's weapon charge rate is reduced by 50%. So kind of like this effect here is really good for PvP. But stuff like Grievous on the physical weapons is going to be good for any kind of situation, PvE and PvP. And then lastly, we're going to look at the Volt weapon. The Volt weapon, after fully charged, is going to paralyze for 1 second, and it's going to electrify the target for 6 seconds, negating all buffs, dealing more damage, and targets can't receive any buffs for the 6 seconds. So these charged weapon effects are really good, and they synergize very well with specific advancements. For example, I have this Thunderblades here, and this charged weapon is going to do electrifying damage for 6 seconds. And then if we scroll down and we look at something like advancement with the 1 star, it says backstabbing an electrified target increases your crit rate by 100%, crit damage by 30%. So basically this weapon already has built-in electrifying for 6 seconds, and that's going to be really useful if you want to maximize your damage. Also, something like the Grievous weapon, you're going to be taking, the target's going to be taking 20% extra more damage when your weapon is fully charged. Something like this works very well in conjunction with matrices. And for example, I have this Bei Ling matrix, and it does, with the 3-piece set, it does 15, 12, 18% more damage to Grievous targets. So basically what you want to do is you want to get your weapon charged up. You're going to have that 20% extra damage from the charged effect, and then something like this, if you wear it on your weapon, you're going to have an additional increase of damage. So this is going to be really good synergy if you want to maximize your damage. And now that we went through all of the effects and kind of what the status effects are, how can we actually charge our weapons, and what exactly does a charged weapon look like? Well, we're going to hop into this instance, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. But before that, let's just take a look at the ice weapon. I'm going to test out this ice weapon and show you guys how it works. So I have this Cocoa Critter Absolute Zero weapon here. And after the charged weapon, you will freeze the target for 2 seconds. So just remember this part, it's going to freeze for 2 seconds. And I'll show you when the charged weapon is about to happen and when the freeze is basically going to happen. Alright, so if you take a look at the bottom right icons there, every time I do a basic attack, you're going to see something regenerating, and that's your charge level. Every time I do a basic attack, or basically anytime I hit a target, I'm going to get some charges. If I do a perfect dodge, like this for example, I'm going to get a full charge no matter what. So Okay, that was a really bad dodge there. Let me see if I can dodge this one. Good. I dodged this one. I got the perfect matrix dodge, and my weapons at this bottom right here is gonna get fully charged. And so I'm gonna do some basic attacks here, like this. Right. Oh my god, I'm dying, but whatever. Basic attacks here. And there, my charge weapon, and now when I attack, I immediately freeze an enemy for 2 seconds and they get frostbitten. That's what the freeze weapon effect does. And with that, that's pretty much all you need to know about charged weapons. There's also other matrices that have charged weapon effects that, increase your charge rate, increase the amount of charges you get, and those can affect how you can get your charged weapon effect going and, kind of getting it faster. Really important ones like the physical Grievous ones, or maybe something like the Volt one where it electrifies enemies. Those ones are pretty good statuses, so if you are building around those charged weapon effects, do keep these in mind. But yeah, that's all for the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.